When a man wants you, truly wants you, he doesn't always say it with words. He says it with energy, with presence, with silence. And sometimes that silence is louder than anything he could ever confess. You see, when desire hits a man, it doesn't come out as smooth poetry or perfect lines. It shows up in tiny, almost invisible moments, the kind you could miss if you weren't paying attention. The way his eyes follow you across the room, even when he's pretending to scroll his phone. The way his jaw tenses when another man makes you laugh. The way his entire energy changes the second you walk into his space, as if the air just got heavier, more charged. He'll act cool. He'll try to keep his composure, but his body will betray him every single time. Because when a man's mind crosses that invisible line from I like her to I want her, it's not logical anymore. It's instinct. You become the distraction he can't shake, the thought that sneaks into his head when he's supposed to be focused. But here's the thing most women miss. It's not just about noticing these signs. It's about understanding them. Because a man who wants you physically will behave differently than a man who's just being friendly. He'll lean in closer, his tone will drop, his attention will lock on you in a way that feels almost magnetic. And when you start recognizing those shifts, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop wondering, does he find me attractive? Because the answer becomes obvious in how he looks at you, how he talks to you, how his energy literally wraps around you like gravity. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 undeniable signs that a man's desire for you has crossed into the physical. They're subtle, sexy, and often completely unconscious, but once you know how to spot them, you'll never have to guess what's going through his head again. So stay with me till the end, because the moment you learn how to read this silent language of attraction, you'll realize that desire doesn't need words. It only needs awareness. One of the first signs that a man's desire for you has quietly slipped into the physical is hidden in his voice. And it's something most women overlook because it feels so subtle, yet it's incredibly powerful. Here's the truth. When a man feels a deep attraction, his biology takes over before his logic does. His tone of voice shifts without him even realizing it. It gets lower, slower, smoother, almost like his subconscious is trying to seduce you before he's even aware of what's happening. Think about it. When he talks to his friends, his voice might be casual, animated, maybe even goofy. But when he speaks to you, suddenly there's a change. His words come out softer, like he's trying to draw you in rather than fill the space. The rhythm of his speech slows, and every sentence feels like it's meant for your ears only. That's not coincidence, that's instinct. Men instinctively lower their voice around women they're attracted to, because a deeper tone signals strength, confidence, and masculinity. It's nature's way of saying, I can protect you, you can feel safe with me. But beneath that biology is something more emotional. It's his attempt to create intimacy. A deep voice pulls you closer, invites your attention, and makes you feel something, even if you can't quite explain why. You might notice it in the smallest moments, like when he leans closer to say something, and his tone drops just enough that you can feel the vibration of his words. Or when he laughs, but it's not that loud, playful laugh he uses with everyone else. It's quieter, warmer, more personal. Like he's laughing with you, not around you. This shift doesn't mean he's trying to manipulate or play a game. It's completely involuntary. It's the sound of attraction finding its way into conversation. It's the sound of a man trying to connect beyond words. And here's what's even more interesting. The deeper his attraction, the more his voice naturally adapts to match your energy. If you're soft-spoken, he'll soften his tone too. If you're playful, he'll add that teasing edge. It's his subconscious attempt to mirror you, to build a rhythm with you that feels synchronized. Because when two people's voices and energies start to match, emotional chemistry intensifies. So the next time you're talking to a man and you notice his tone suddenly shift, he starts speaking in that slightly huskier, more deliberate way. Pay attention. That's not him being nice. That's him unconsciously trying to connect on a deeper level. And here's the real power. When you recognize that shift and respond with calm confidence, when you hold eye contact, lean in slightly, and keep your voice gentle, you're not chasing him, you're mirroring his magnetism. You're saying, without words, I feel that too. Because attraction isn't just about what's said, it's about what's felt. And his voice, more than anything else, will tell you exactly where his desire is leading. When a man desires you, his eyes will always betray him. No matter how hard he tries to act composed, confident, or disinterested, his gaze will keep giving him away. It's one of those raw, instinctive behaviors that no amount of self-control can fully hide. His eyes become the first place his attraction shows up, quietly, powerfully, and constantly. Here's the fascinating thing. When a man feels that deep magnetic pull toward a woman, his brain releases dopamine, the same feel-good chemical we experience when we taste chocolate or achieve something exciting. So when he looks at you, his mind literally rewards him. That's why his eyes keep finding their way back, even if he's trying to play it cool. You've become a kind of visual addiction, the thing he can't stop glancing at, even in a crowded room. You might notice it during conversations. He's talking to someone else, but his focus keeps flickering back to you. Or maybe you catch him staring for half a second too long, and then he quickly looks away, pretending he wasn't just caught, but his reaction gives it away. It's that mix of surprise and a tiny bit of embarrassment. Like, he knows his eyes just told you everything he was trying not to say. And when a man is really drawn to you, his gaze won't just rest on your face, it'll explore. He might glance at your lips when you're talking, at your hands when you gesture, or even at your hair when you tuck it behind your ear. These aren't disrespectful looks, they're unconscious, instinctive signals of desire. He's taking in every detail, memorizing what captivates him most. But here's where it gets deeper. When a man's attraction grows, his eye contact starts to carry emotion, not just curiosity. There's a softness that mixes with intensity, a sense of being both nervous and fascinated at once. You'll feel it when he looks at you, that moment where time seems to pause. It's not about staring, it's about connection. His eyes are saying, I see you, and I can't look away. Women often sense this without understanding it consciously. You'll feel a certain charge in the air, a quiet tension. And that's because eye contact is the purest, most ancient form of intimacy. Before words, before gestures, we had the gaze. It's primal, it's personal, it's how attraction first speaks. So if you ever wonder whether a man is drawn to you, don't overthink it. Watch his eyes, see if they keep searching for you, even when he's supposed to be paying attention to something else. Notice how quickly he looks away when you catch him, and how easily his gaze returns a few moments later. Because a man can control his words, he can hide his emotions, he can even fake confidence, but he can't fake where his eyes want to go. And when his eyes keep finding you again and again, that's not coincidence. That's chemistry revealing the truth he's not ready to say out loud. If you really want to know when a man's desire has crossed that invisible line, stop listening to his words for a moment and start watching his body. Because the truth is, when a man is drawn to you, his body speaks long before his mouth does. And one of the clearest giveaways is this. No matter who he's talking to, no matter what's happening around him, his body will always angle toward you. It's subtle, but it's powerful. His shoulders, his chest, even his feet, they all unconsciously align with your direction. It's like his body can sense where you are at all times, and without him realizing it, he keeps positioning himself to stay connected to you. This isn't something he plans, it's instinctive. Desire doesn't ask permission, it simply pulls him into your orbit. You'll see it in a crowded room. He could be mid-conversation with someone else, but his torso will be slightly turned your way. Or when you move across the space, his posture shifts just enough to keep you in his line of sight. He's not doing it to be obvious, he's doing it because it feels natural. His body wants proximity, and every part of him responds to that magnetism, even in silence. Men are protective by nature when they're attracted. Facing you isn't just about seeing you, it's about anchoring himself near you. It's a non-verbal way of saying, I'm here, I'm paying attention. It's his instinct to stay available, to keep himself open to you physically and emotionally, even if the words haven't been spoken yet. What's fascinating is that this happens without any grand gestures. There's no dramatic movement or flirtatious posing. It's quiet, almost invisible, but deeply telling. His feet might be pointed toward you even when his upper body isn't. His arm might rest in your direction. He might lean ever so slightly forward when you speak, even if others are talking too. Every inch of him is trying to bridge the space between you and him. And here's where it becomes even more interesting. When attraction deepens, mirroring begins. If you lean in, he'll instinctively lean in too. If you cross your legs, he might shift in the same way. It's not mimicry, it's connection. His body is subconsciously syncing with yours, trying to establish harmony and closeness. It's his way of saying, we're on the same wavelength. So the next time you're around a man you're curious about, pay attention not just to what he says, but where his body is directed. Because men can fake interest with words, but their bodies, never. They reveal everything. And when you notice his body consistently facing you, even when there's no need, to when you can feel that invisible thread of attention pulling you together, that's your sign. It's not random. It's attraction in motion. Because sometimes the most powerful declarations aren't spoken at all. They're felt in posture, in presence, and in the quiet way his body always finds its way back to yours. One of the most misunderstood signs of attraction is nervousness. So many women think that if a man is fidgety, stumbles over his words, or seems a little awkward, it means he's not confident. But in reality, when a man genuinely desires you, when he feels that magnetic pull and can't quite steady himself, his nerves start to give him away. It's not because he's weak, it's because you matter. When a man really wants you, you trigger something inside him that few people do, that mix of excitement and pressure. He wants to impress you, but he also doesn't want to mess it up. He's suddenly hyper aware of his body, his tone, his words. And in that moment, even the most composed guy can lose his rhythm. You might notice him adjusting his shirt, touching his face, playing with his hands, or suddenly fixing his hair for no reason. That's not coincidence. That's adrenaline. Biologically, attraction activates the same part of the brain that responds to stress. His heart beats a little faster, his palms might feel warmer, his breathing shifts. It's his body's way of saying, this person affects me. The closer you are, the stronger that reaction becomes. It's not fear, it's chemistry, trying to find a way to stay cool under pressure. Now, some men channel that nervous energy differently. The more confident ones might overcompensate, they'll crack jokes, tease you playfully, or suddenly become animated, trying to project control. But if you look closely, you'll see the signs. The quick swallow before he speaks, the subtle tremor in his laugh, the slightly rushed words. Every cell in his body is screaming for him to make a good impression because your opinion of him matters. You might notice that when he's with others, he's relaxed, casual, perfectly himself. But when you walk in, everything changes. His energy spikes, he stands taller, his words come out in half sentences. He might even tease you in that nervous, playful way that men do when they're testing the water, trying to hide attraction under humor. But deep down, he's not calm. You've got him off balance. And that's actually beautiful, because that nervousness isn't a weakness, it's honesty. It's one of the purest signs that a man's attraction is real, not rehearsed. You've tapped into a part of him that feels alive, spontaneous, and just a little bit out of control. So the next time you notice a man fidgeting, stumbling, or acting slightly restless around you, don't dismiss it. Don't assume he's uninterested or unsure of himself. Look at it for what it truly is. A man trying to hold it together while his body is betraying his secret. Because when a man's calm exterior begins to crack in your presence, when his composure turns into that mix of excitement and nerves, It's not confusion, it's desire. You're not just another person in the room, you're the one his body can't ignore. There's something electric that happens when two people who are drawn to each other come close, that invisible current that hums between them before a single word is spoken. And when a man wants you, when his desire has quietly built under the surface, that energy shift becomes undeniable the moment you step into his space. You'll feel it before you even fully see it. It's not always about what he does, it's about what changes. His breathing slows just a little, his tone softens, his words come out more deliberately, like he's suddenly aware of how close you are. That tiny shift in the air, that's attraction showing itself without permission. It's not something he plans, it's his nervous system reacting to yours. You might notice that the second you move closer, he stops mid-sentence or loses his train of thought. Maybe he takes a slow breath, or his eyes flicker for a moment to your lips before he looks back into your eyes. His body language tightens slightly, not with discomfort, but with anticipation. That's the tension between wanting to maintain control and wanting to let go. And here's the beautiful part, energy doesn't lie. When you stand near someone who's drawn to you, their whole vibe changes. You can feel it, the shift in temperature, the way time seems to stretch for a few seconds. He might lean in without realizing it, his body subconsciously searching for more of your presence. And when you step away, you'll see it again, that faint hesitation, like his body isn't ready for the connection to break. It's not just physical, it's emotional too. When a man's energy shifts around you, it's because something inside him has turned on curiosity, desire, fascination. You become the center of his focus, even if he tries to play it cool. His words might stay casual, but his energy gives him away completely. It's that subtle intensity that tells you you've crossed from friendly territory into something charged, something alive. You can sense this, especially in quiet moments, when you're standing close enough to hear his breath, when your shoulders almost touch and suddenly the air feels thicker. He's not saying anything, but you can feel everything. That unspoken awareness is the purest form of chemistry, not loud, not forced, just two energies colliding in silence. And the most powerful thing you can do in that moment, stay calm. Don't rush to fill the space or break the tension. Hold it, let it breathe. Because that tension, that quiet pull is what makes attraction unforgettable. So if you've ever wondered whether a man truly wants you, pay attention to what happens when you step closer. Watch how his body, his tone, even his silence reacts. Because you can fake words, but you can't fake energy. When a man's entire presence shifts because of your nearness, that's not coincidence. That's chemistry at its purest form, the moment where desire stops being a thought and becomes a feeling he can't control. And as we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to pause for a moment and think, how often do we let these moments slip by without realizing their power? A simple glance, a subtle touch, a quiet act of care. These are not coincidences, they are signals. The kind of signals a man gives when his heart is quietly trying to say what his words can't. When he does these things in front of you, he's not just being kind, he's revealing a part of himself he doesn't show to everyone. And if you've noticed these signs, don't ignore them. Don't second guess yourself. You've seen something real. The next time he leans closer when you speak, or his eyes linger just a moment longer, let that energy stay in the air. Smile. Let him feel that you've noticed. Because when you respond with calm confidence and warmth, you create an emotional connection that words can't touch. That's how you stay in his thoughts long after he's walked away. If this video helps you see things a little clearer, take a second to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who might need this reminder too. Every week, we dive deeper into the psychology of connection, attraction, and love, so you can understand not just what he says, but what he feels. Remember, understanding these subtle signs isn't about playing games, it's about learning the language of emotion. And once you speak that fluently, love stops feeling confusing and starts feeling natural.